Akin was a notorious womanizer. He had a reputation for juggling multiple girlfriends at once, and he took pride in his ability to keep them all happy. Or so he thought. As Valentine's Day approached, Akin began to panic. He had no idea how he would divide himself amongst his numerous girlfriends. There was Neoma, the beautiful lawyer, Amoka, the sexy model, Lola, the sweet university student, and Toyin, the sassy entrepreneur. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Akin tried to make a schedule, but it was no use. His girlfriends kept calling him, demanding to know what he had planned for Valentine's Day. "Baby, what are we doing for V-Day?" Neoma asked, her voice husky and seductive. "Oh, I was thinking we could, go out for dinner." Akin stammered, "What time?" Amoka asked, her voice firm and commanding. "Oh, how about 7 p.m.? Akin replied, hoping that would satisfy her, but Lola was not happy. "Why do you always spend Valentine's Day with Neoma?" she pouted. "It's not fair." Akin was getting confused. He didn't know how to keep all his girlfriends happy. He began to feel like a juggler with too many balls in the air. As Valentine's Day finally arrived, Akin's girlfriends started showing up at his doorstep. Neoma arrived first, looking stunning in a red dress. Amoka showed up next, wearing a revealing black outfit. Lola came last, looking adorable in a pink sweater, but just as Akin was trying to figure out how to handle the situation, Toyin showed up, looking fierce in a black jumpsuit. "I know you're trying to play me, Akin," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "But I'm not having it." The scene was chaotic. Akin's girlfriends were fighting, crying, and shouting. Akin was trying to calm them down, but it was no use. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, Akin's mother showed up at the doorstep. She was a fierce woman, known for her sharp tongue and quick wit. "What is going on here?" she thundered. Looking at Akin's girlfriends, Akin tried to explain, but his mother was having none of it. "You're a shame to our family," she said, shaking her head. "You need to settle down with one woman and stop all this nonsense." Akin's girlfriends started to murmur in agreement. They were tired of sharing Akin with each other. They wanted him all to themselves. As the argument continued, Akin realized that he had been playing with fire. He had hurt the women he cared about, and now they were turning on him. But just as it seemed like the situation couldn't get any more chaotic, Akin's phone started ringing. It was another girlfriend, Chioma, calling to wish him a happy Valentine's Day. Akin's girlfriends looked at each other in shock. "Who's Chioma?" Neoma asked, her voice icy. Akin hesitated, unsure of what to say. But before he could respond, Chioma showed up at the doorstep, looking beautiful in a yellow dress. The scene was absolute pandemonium. Akin's girlfriends were fighting, crying, and shouting. Akin was trying to calm them down, but it was no use. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, the police showed up. They had been called by a neighbor who had complained about the noise. The police officer looked at Akin's girlfriends and shook his head. "What's going on here?" he asked. Akin tried to explain, but the officer just laughed. "You're a real Casanova, aren't you?" he said, chuckling. The situation was so chaotic that it ended up on the front page of the newspaper. The headline read, "Womanizer's Valentine's Day Disaster, Akin's reputation was ruined." His girlfriends had all dumped him, and he was left alone to pick up the pieces. As he looked back on the chaos of Valentine's Day, Akin realized that he had been selfish and arrogant. He had hurt the women he cared about, and now he was paying the price, but Akin was determined to change his ways. He started attending therapy sessions, where he learned how to treat women with respect and kindness. It wasn't easy, but Akin was determined to become a better man. He knew that he still had a long way to go, but he was willing to take the first step. As for his girlfriends, they moved on with their lives, wiser and stronger for having known Akin. They learned to appreciate themselves and to demand respect from the men in their lives. As Akin continued his therapy sessions, he began to realize the error of his ways. He had been so focused on pleasing himself that he had forgotten the importance of treating others with respect and kindness. One day, Akin's therapist asked him to write a letter to each of his ex-girlfriends, apologizing for his behavior and thanking them for teaching him a valuable lesson. Akin was hesitant at first, but he eventually agreed. He spent hours writing the letters, pouring out his heart and soul onto the page. When he finished, he felt a sense of relief wash over him. He knew that he still had a long way to go, but he was determined to become a better man. Akin's therapist was proud of him. "You're taking the first step towards healing and growth," she said. "Remember, it's never too late to change." Akin took her words to heart. He started volunteering at a local charity, where he met a kind and beautiful woman named Ada. Ada was different from Akin's other girlfriends. She was smart, funny, and had a heart of gold. Akin was immediately drawn to her, but he was determined to take things slow. For the first time in his life, Akin felt like he was in a real relationship. He and Ada would talk for hours, sharing their hopes and dreams with each other. As the months went by, Akin realized that he had fallen deeply in love with Ada. He proposed to her on a romantic getaway to the beach, and she said yes. Akin's friends and family were overjoyed. They had never seen him so happy and fulfilled. As Akin looks back on his journey, he realized that he had learned a valuable lesson. He had learned that true happiness comes from being with one partner and from being true to oneself. Moral lessons. 1. Womanizing and keeping many sexual partners increases the risk of contracting sexually transmitted infections as well as potential mental health concerns. 2. Self-reflection is key. Taking the time to reflect on our actions and behaviors can help us grow and become better versions of ourselves. 3. It's never too late to change. No matter how old we are or what mistakes we've made, it's never too late to change and start anew. 4. True happiness comes from within. True happiness comes from being true to oneself and treating others with respect and kindness. 5. Love and relationships require effort and commitment. Building strong and healthy relationships requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to grow and learn together. Food for thought. 1. What are the consequences of prioritizing one's desires over others' feelings? 2. How can self-reflection and personal growth help individuals change their ways? 3. What are the benefits of committing to one partner and building a strong, healthy relationship? 4. How can individuals balance their desires with respect and honesty in relationships? 5. What can we learn from Akin's journey about the importance of loyalty, commitment, and respect in relationships? Thanks for watching. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section and please share the story with your friends and loved ones. Bye for now.